Oh, what's up GameLeap? It's Mid Lane Eggs is back again. Hope you're all as keen as we are for the next patch, and in this video we're going to be covering the 15 best mid laners for 11.9. And once again, pro guides, we've uploaded this nice and early so you can post the same video on your channel. But yeah guys, if you want to know the mid lane picks you are going to have the best chance of carrying on in a week's time, stick around for the next 10 minutes. Now I don't just sit here and list the champions that are going to be OP, I break down in as much meta detail as possible why these champions are going to be the top picks so you can better understand what makes them tick. And if you want even more of me breaking something down guys, then make use of the amazing GameLeap website. Challenger, courses, guides, videos, thousands of summoners have signed up and are frothing my daily upload, so get around it guys. I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't legit. Links as always in the description and comment section. Alright, let's get into it, and starting off the countdown is a champion who has been buffed a couple of times this season, and for Sylas, your synergy with Everfrost is too strong to not put on this list. And perhaps the biggest benefit of playing Sylas guys, especially in lower elos, is the fact you can steal that Malphite ultimate, that Hecarim ultimate, and 1v9 teamfights. Even though Lucidity boots are now 950 gold and Seeker's arm guard is a shade of its former self, Sylas is still performing extremely well. And we can thank Riot for this, because in 11.6 guys, so a few patches ago, the balanced team increased your passive attack speed and gave an overall buff to your W, and then in 11.7 fixed a bug where you would lose your passive stacks after ulting. So this is no longer the case, and this was and is huge. Your combos are cleaner as a result because of the attack speed, and you can also stack Conqueror a heck of a lot quicker. So 11.9 Sylas guys, very good indeed. Now just ahead of Sylas, we have one of the most consistent season 11 mages, if not the most consistent. Now if you don't play Sylas, I have a pick for you that counters pretty much every mage in the game, and it's Galio. And like most tanks in the game guys, not only are you an effort to lane against because of your innate tankiness, but you also do a ton of damage, and even more so at the moment thanks to the 11.8 Rocket Belt change. Getting some magic pen for a bit of HP is no doubt worth because your AP ratios and base damages are high, and if you're fed enough you can actually one-shot squishy enemy champions. Your setup is also the best out of any mid laner, and you bring so much utility to a team with your ultimate, so not only can you win your lane, you can win the whole map, and who doesn't want that? Now another mage who can win the whole map at level 6 onwards guys is one of the most banned mid laners on the Rift, and I don't blame you for banning him, I ban him too, because there's Kassadin guys where you still have one of the highest win rates in the game despite your runes and items copping hits left, right and center this season. Whether it's the Fleet Footwork nerf, the Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter nerf, the Seeker's nerf, it hasn't exactly been plain sailing in that department, but what's keeping you OP is damage. That Emax still chunks, and once you complete your Seris Embrace and you have an Everfrost in there as well, I'm not going to argue if you say Kassadin is the best late game carry. It's just that yeah, the early game can be a bit rough, and that's why the Riftwalker isn't higher. Now one mage who doesn't have that bad of an early game is beating Kassadin to the number 12 spot, and this is Ahri, who has recently been one of the top tier mid laners. And that's because of how well everyone's favorite Fox synergizes with the buff mage items. So if we think of Everfrost, Cosmic Drive and then boosted Lucidity, these three items have been buffed in season 11, and Ahri is one of the best abusers of this combo. The Everfrost active allows you to land your charm and Orbit Deception, and then the drive and your haste boots give you the cooldown you need to fire off multiple charms and other spells in teamfights. So you're much less of an assassin these days and more of a control mage, and these items and item buffs complement that playstyle. Now I said Galio was consistent, well this next champion has featured on each and every one of our top mid laners countdown since this season kicked off, and this is Malzahar. And I'm not sure if you guys saw, but there was a Mal's main in EU West who reached rank 1 recently, which goes to show this hovering void creature isn't just good in low elo. He's OP in all of them, and at this moment in time guys, Mal's mains in Master and above are boasting a 57% win rate. Now if you're a little bit sadistic, Mal's is the ideal champion because your fun is determined by how much you prevent the enemy team from having fun. Like you have the best wave clear in the game so they can't move from their tower, and this is great against assassins to punish their roams. They can't move because you're ultimate, and you have a silence to boot. So if you can completely nullify your opponent's play, which is very easy with an Emax and Leandra's Anguish, no one can do anything to you. Now one champion who can do something to you is starting off the top 10 11.9 mid laners countdown, and this is an AD assassin who got a little help from Riot in 11.8, and this is hanging around next patch for Zed. So the fact you can clear minions with more ease after the passive changes improves your wave clear, and why is this important? Well, you save a few valuable seconds and can use these to get a roam off quicker with that Prowler's Claw. And this mythic guys is one of the reasons Zed and a few other AD one-shotters are so busted right now. The Claw gives you the most lethality out of any item in the game, and the target you dash to increases your damage to that same target, and that's what you're about, that single target damage. Next patch as well, nothing is really changing that much in the mid lane, so Zed mains keep picking Zed. Now ahead of Zed guys is a spellcasting mid laner who is going to be picked a bunch at MSI because of how well he scales, and if you're a fan of dirty modes then you'll be pleased to know Corki is one of the best picks. And like Malzahar, your win rate in high elo at the moment is a stupid 57%, and this has no real reason to change, and it's somewhat surprising Corki's performing as well as he is. You know, because Essence Reaver got nerfed in 11.7 so you lost a bit of AD, but here's the thing guys, the new Immortal Shield bow is so much better. The bigger shield lets you survive that burst from all those Zeds and Arcalis you see, and the extra attack damage you get when on the brink is way more impactful than the attack speed you used to get, especially with Mirror Mana Shock shock damage. So get your shield bow, get your mana mune, and get your essence reaver, and no one can stop you in the late game, including Kassadin. Now coming in at number 8, guys, I'm going to throw 2 champions at you because, yeah, they're kind of, well, the same champion, and these are, of course, the Masters of the Wind, Yasuo and Yone. And the reason these two are back with a vengeance is because of the Death's Dance and Wit's End buffs coming next patch. So with DD, you're getting 5 more armor and 5 more AD, and with Wits, you're getting an extra 10 AD, and attack damage on these two is very important. This obviously means your autos hit harder, but also your Q and your ultimate. So in those late game split push 1v1s and in teamfights, of course, you are more of a threat. And with how easy it is to kill champions in the late game on both of these, how could I not put Yasuo and Yone in here? And also, how can I not put this next champion in here, guys? Because they're straight up broken. And for Katarina, 11-9 is going to be as good as 11-8. And the reason for this is the new Hextech Rocket Belt. The new magic pen is obviously more worth than HP on Katarina, and this means your trades and all-ins are a lot more devastating, and the best cat mains in the world are having a bunch of success building the belt after their Nash's Toothrush. And this Nash's Rush, guys, is still very important. The 100 AP is a big chunk, and the on-hit is where its power really lies. And this gets pumped into your daggers, your Shumpo, and your ultimate, and makes you one of the deadliest assassins in the game. Just remember your level 1 sucks. Now, speaking of deadly assassins, well, there are only a couple stronger than this next champion, and coming in at number 6, guys, is Talon, who has been loving life since his W buffs in 11.4, and it's not just those rake buffs that have made Talon strong. As I mentioned with Zed, it's the Prowler's Claw active and lethality, which boasts the most in the game. It's the Serpent's Fang buff, which made it easier to nuke enemy champions with shields, and it's the Serylda's Grudge decrease in price, which means you get to that spike earlier, and there's also the mirror amount of shock damage from a few patches ago. So this season has been very kind to Talon, guys, and there's also that Seeker's Arm Guard nerf, which has made mages a free kill from level 6 onwards, and sorry for mentioning it again, it's my kryptonite. So 11-9 Talon, guys, still in a great spot. Alright, we're now into the top 5, and if you're enjoying this series, be sure to let us know by hitting that like button, and for the timestamps too, and make sure to check out the GameLeap website when this video ends. You see, after coaching hundreds of students, guys, to division and tier climbs, you get access to champion-specific videos made by me on the daily, and some red-hot VOD analyses, so if you want to climb, it's all waiting for you, links down below. So kicking off the top 5, we have a champion Riot have tried taking out of the mid lane in recent patches, but have failed miserably. I mean, what's new? So mid Rumble is going to continue flame spitting the competition in 11-9. And you might be thinking, but Rumble's getting nerfed. Bro, this nerf is pin. Yeah, you're losing a little passive damage, but you're still going to gain 50% attack speed when you're overheating, and this is all you need. Whether you choose Electrocute or Comet as your keystone, you have the most oppressive laning phase on the Rift, and once you get your Night Harvester and Sork Shoes, you can clean up, so no reason to stop playing Rumble in the mid lane in 11-9. Now this next champion is like Rumble, guys, in that she's getting nerfed next patch, but her power is all too high anyway. So as Diana, yeah, you might be a little squishier later in a game because of the armor per level decrease. You might not have the sustain you had previously because the HP regen decrease, and you lose a little trading potential with the attack speed lost in your passive. And while that sounds like a lot, it really isn't. You're still getting 5% more attack speed from when Riot buffed you in 11-8, and similar to Kassadin, your damage despite all these jabs is super high. Like if any of you actually had to face tank a Diana ultimate, let alone a full combo this season, it hurts, and it's pretty obnoxious to play against. Now beating Diana to the number 3 spot, guys, is another champion whose name ends with the letter A, as if that means anything, and she is once again the best AD assassin in the game, and this is Qiyana, of course. Yes, you have the Claw and the Fang in great spots, but the 11-5 buffs that enhance your W and your R's damage have seen the best Qiyanas in the world boast some crazy high win rates and high reloads, and that's the thing, guys. If you master the elements, you have the highest carry potential. You are very strong in lane from level 3 onwards because of your burst damage and the fact you can get 2 Qs off in the blink of an eye with that W reset, and in team fights, whether it's a Dragon or Baron, anywhere really, your ultimate is a real game changer. Now the runner-up to the most broken mid laner in 11-9, well, this might surprise a lot of you, but it really shouldn't, because Nocturne, guys, has been broken for ages with the new Stridebreaker, and next patch, he will be paranoying more games because of the Death's Dance and Wit's End buffs. And that's the thing, like, he didn't need any buffs. Now on top of these stronger mid to late game items, Nocturne has one of the best early game pushes, so you can almost always get priority for your jungler and for yourself, so you can R around the map, and you also have great setup with your E. Nox still has one of the highest win rates, guys, and this won't change next patch. Now who can be better than the 14 I've mentioned? Well, I reckon you guys know who it is. And yes, even though this battle mage is getting nerfed next patch, the damage has already been done, because as Vladimir, guys, your Q cooldown is low enough to rinse people in the laning phase and get a couple off when you're all inning, and the new magic pen and rocket belt gives you exactly what you need to obliterate entire teams, and whether you follow this up with a cosmic drive or death cap, oh, it's just over, dude. If anyone mains Vlad, by the way, or has had the pleasure of copping a few Hemo plagues recently, thoughts? So those are the best 11-9 mid laners, guys. Make sure to subscribe before heading off to our website. Until tomorrow's video, this has been Coach X.